Hi guys and welcome to some more Borderlands 3 gameplay commentary. Today we are playing with Flak, the Beastmaster. The last Borderlands video playing with Moz did really well and I had some great comments from you guys and you seem to enjoy it. Since then I did tease at the end of that I'd be releasing a video with Flak gameplay. And that's what we're doing today. Now Flak is a very different character to Moz. Moz has this giant mech and she's all about attack, explosions, flamethrower, all that good stuff. Flak, on the other hand, I think is much more suited to solo players because they are a Beastmaster and that means that they've got pets, and pets in video games are always good fun. Before we take a deeper look at Flak, I just have to say that this video is sponsored by 2K Games, so a big thank you to them. I went down to an event in London and managed to get hands-on and capture with the game, and if you want to find out more about the game for yourself, there's a link down in the description below. So in this video, there's a few highlights from the first 3 to 4 hours of the game, and I'm not going to put any spoilers in here, so don't worry about that. This is really going to focus on a few key beats and the components of Flak and what makes this character so awesome. Like I said, they're a Beastmaster and they have access to 3 different pets. And the pets evolve over time as you go through the skill tree. So you don't just start with the basic pet and that's it for the rest of the game. They change into different versions of that particular pet. And of course, as you upgrade them, they get better and they offer different perks and they can do different things for you. So in this video, I'm playing with Mr. Chew. And really, I just picked this guy because I think he's the most dog-like one. And whenever there's a dog in a game, I like that. I'm going to go with that. It's cool to have that companion there. And we'll talk more in detail about Mr. Chew in just a second. But the other 2 options are the Jabber. And the Jabber is this little dude who carries a pistol to start with, and while he's accompanying you, it can do stuff like increase your movement speed, and it can also revive you when you're down in that fight for your life state. So that's quite useful to have, especially if you're playing solo. And the Jabber can also do stuff like taunt enemies, draw aggro, and they eventually evolve into a beefcake with a shotgun instead of a pistol, and then the final evolution, I think it gets an SMG. So that pet is much more of an offensive tool. The second one is the Spider Ant Centurion. Big armoured spider ant looking thing. It's crazy. It looks like something out of Starship Troopers. Still holds up, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And of course it gets massive in its final evolution. But this tree also gives you access to stuff like sending Rack to attack enemies. They're these flying things, so good for distraction. Now then, Mr. Chew. One of the best things about this guy is that you can pet him. You can pet the dog. You know that Twitter account that's like, can you pet the dog in this game? Well, I hope they've updated their stuff because you can pet Mr. Chew and he seems very happy. And this dude will eventually evolve into a great horned skag and then an iridian skag. And he's got action skills like radiation pulls around him. You can teleport him through a rift that then explodes on enemies, and I was just using that all the time to deal with mobs. Really useful. And again, you can really see in this gameplay why, if you're a solo player, maybe Flak is a good choice for you. Another reason that I picked Flak though is because of the voice actor. So Flak is voiced by Sungwon Cho. You may know him by his online internet name as ProsD or Prosd, however you want to pronounce that. Very talented, he's done all sorts of work on various games and even TV shows, but he voices Flak in this game, and I just like his little skits that he does on YouTube, so that's another good reason to pick him. First it was Ice-T, now they've got ProsD. Vaughn is back as well. I think this guy was in Borderlands 2, if I recall correctly. It's not looking so good for him, but he's got probably one of the best sprint animations that I've seen in the game. Just look at him go. What's he been eating? Because whatever it is, I want some of that. he just takes off like a rabbit, man. Crazy. Ellie makes a return as well. The big chungus. This is a classic one-liner here.
Most humans are frail and weak, but you've got admirable heft, girl.
An admirable heft. What kind of a compliment is that? She takes it well though. I think she enjoyed that. But in the start of this game, she helps you get a vehicle. So all around the map are vehicle stations, and this is the open world component of Borderlands 3, really, driving from mission to mission, or just going around killing enemies, I suppose, if you want a bit of fun. You can customize the vehicles too, like add rocket launchers, various different components to them. There are different types of vehicles too. One of my complaints with Borderlands 2 was that in the open world bits, it felt like you were just driving around a lot and nothing was really happening, and I just kind of got bored with those sections. But in this game, I feel like they're throwing enough at you, whether that's enemies or bandits driving at you and then you engage in some like Mad Max style battle on your way to a mission, or it's groups of enemies that pop up, whatever it might be. It could be discovering a side mission, for example. I never felt bored when I was driving from A to B to C, back to B again. There's also fast travel, of course, so once you've gone to that area and unlocked that fast travel, you can bink over there if you want to do that. Another great thing about Flak and the pets is that you can order them. So let's say you want to single a big enemy out so they can take the aggro while you go ahead and clean up a load of mobs. That's an option there too. One thing that I'm really looking forward to though with Flak is, let's say you party up with 3 of your friends, so you've got 4 of you all together, you're all playing as Flak, and you've all got different pets or different evolutions of those pets all at once. How is that going to look, and what kind of crazy combinations will people come up with there? That's definitely going to be fun. Unfortunately, I'm yet to play this game with other people, other real people in the party, but when it releases, I'll definitely be partying up with my usual crew for sure. It was quite fun though, playing as Flak solo, because it's kind of like you've got a friend there. It's just AI and a pet and a dog. So it worked out fine, to be honest. It was quite good. I wanted to show you this too. This is a mission that I was doing for a dude called Marcus. I think it's just a side mission, and if you look on the right, there is an optional objective there. So if you just want to complete the mission as quick as possible, the objective up there is to collect skag spines and then hand them in. But you'll see there's also an optional objective too. It's got the little plus next to it, and if you do that, it might take you a bit more time and it could be more difficult, but when completed, as you can see, I did both, and Marcus let me into his secret stash where there was a couple of different grenade types that I picked up that I didn't have before. So it's definitely worth doing those side objectives. Wrapping things up, later on in the demo, there's a main mission where you have to go and attack the Holy Broadcast Center. There's this awesome moment where you attack from outside, you push up through all of the enemies, get inside, take all those guys out there, and eventually you come up against this guy called Mouthpiece, and he is essentially a boss. Now, this is a boss that's very early on in the game. It had a couple of different stages and a few different attacks, and the environment that you're in also changed as the health of the boss depleted. So there are these sound pads on the floor, and he charges them up, and you have to avoid them, otherwise they do a ton of damage to you. He's also got a shield and minions that he sends out at you. It was a really interesting boss fight, and if this is just an early game boss, I'm really excited to see what the late game bosses are like, and I hope that they continue this trend of having bosses with multiple attack types in interesting environments rather than just a bullet sponge. So fingers crossed there's more like this later on in the game. With that said, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Once again, I didn't want to be too spoilery, so I've left out a load of key story details that you can all enjoy for yourself when the game's out. But Flak is a really fun character, and the evolution of the pets is quite interesting to me. The 3 different skill trees you get for this guy are quite different, and the pets really specialize in certain areas, and that will allow you to tweak your Vault Hunter and send them down this path that you really want them to go down. So it's good fun, man. Flak is a great character. Love the Beastmaster. Once again, a big thanks to 2K Games for sponsoring this video, and there's a link down in the description below if you want to find out more about the game. With that said, I hope you're doing well, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. And I almost forgot, but we will be doing one more Borderlands video before launch, and we're taking a look at an end game thing. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's something that you can do at endgame, but that will be soon, promise. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Did you come all this way for that busted ass map, or are you just here to see me?